Click it on.
4 or 5 emails later, Carol jumps in. He's like,
Yeah, John.
as a former athlete, I don't expect to be treated like a chump by anybody. And I was like, honest to God,
The last word has to come from Sam.
I know. Sammy controls everything. I know.
no. Who?
Those guys.
Really?
Yeah. I've known them a long time. Insurance. I got my insurance with them. But thanks. And I've always wanted to leave. We didn't watch it because some shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just, I should, I can find the email. Like, dude, if you're saying, where? I mean,
Is this recent?
I want to say, like, end of the year. So, yeah. And just,
He wasn't a former
well, that's what I'm like. High school doesn't count.
Right. Well, he claimed he played basketball. He
Well,
never played.
Well, talking to Beige, he went to junior college
Oh.
for 2 years and played there. And then transferred into BG and then the party and got the best of them.
Right. Big, no, Beige is. There's something going on.
I don't know.
Beige is. All right, Sammy. Is he married now?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it was. I think there's some weird shit.
Oh my. Really? Did she work there too?
Yeah. I'm gonna go. Like, just.
Yeah, so I don't know how he'll receive me. 'Cause
Oh, he'll
I was invited from Dan. Dan said, I gave him $100 for the Jimmy D thing or whatever, so
Right.
he's like, I'd appreciate it if you go. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I'd like to welcome you this evening and call the meeting to order. It's our regularly scheduled meeting. The day is March 16th. The time is 5:01.
Call the roll. Mr. Genowine.
Here.
Mr. Mahoney.
Here.
Mr. Crandall.
Here.
Simcoe. Here.
Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The next item of business is approval of the minutes of February 16th.
And March 1st, 2006.
Yeah, we can combine and approve them. I'll note that the special meeting we had on February 23rd, those aren't prepared yet. Those are still in process. So you're making a motion to combine and approve.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'll second it.
I'll call the roll. Mr. Genowine.
Oh, we put you in the
Oh,
tough
yeah.
spot.
Well, that's okay. I mean, I'll
You
approve them,
abstained.
but I abstained from the February or March 1st one. I wasn't
Yeah.
present.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's
We didn't
okay.
think
Okay.
ahead there.
You still get 2 votes.
Mr. Mahoney.
Yes.
Mr. Crandall.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
All right. Any additions, deletions to the agenda, Jeff?
I have none.
Okay, and
Nobody signed in.
Nobody signed in from the public, so we'll move to the zoning department. Darrell?
Good evening. Our first item is the monthly report for February for the zoning department. Zoning permits for the month and year-to-date are up from last year, or from the last 2 years, actually. Single-family dwelling permits are also up. We've had, through the end of February, we've had 15 versus 14 last year, and estimated value at $3.39 million versus the $2.95 million last year. Zoning complaints on the next page are also up for the month, 13 versus 5 last year, and year-to-date 19 versus 8. On monthly meetings, the BZA did not meet. There was nothing for the agenda, no project plan review. The Zoning Commission did recommend approval of the zone change on Whiteford Road, 5803 Whiteford Road, that the trustees approved at their last meeting. And then just a couple little items of note on the bottom there. I was curious as to how many parcels there actually were in the township, and Lucas County Plan Commission staff was able to get that to me very quickly. I was surprised how easily they came up with that. There's 12,977 parcels in the township. And then we have roughly 11,512 dwellings in the township, and that includes apartments, duplexes, as well as single family. It does not include residential care facilities or hospitals or anything like that. So that's it for the monthly report, unless there's any questions.
Before any questions, Darrell, John? Yeah? Thanks. You want to move to the next item?
Yes. I have the proposed amendment for the monument signs. I would like to send this down to the Lucas County Plan Commission for their review. Scott, if you can go to the last page, please, where the graphs are. Yeah, if we can get both of those, I'd probably not. Okay. The top graph there, where it shows our current ones, I don't know how well that comes out, the light blue. My proposed is the dark blue, and I've got it alongside the city of Sylvania, Springfield Township, and Toledo, the main entities that we border that we're likely to not share monument signs, but share commercial areas with. My proposed amendment is, if you can scroll down a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Maximum height of 5 feet, which is our current height limit for a monument sign, but this would be at a distance of 5 feet from the right-of-way. The current distance is 15. And then the allowed height would go up to 8 feet for 10 feet from the right-of-way, 9 feet in height for 15 feet from the right-of-way, 11 feet in height for 25 feet from the right-of-way, and 30 feet and over from the right-of-way would have a maximum height of 12 feet. This isn't anything we need to vote on. It's just what I would like to send down to Lucas County Plan Commission, and then that'll come back to our zoning commission and then the trustees for final approval. But I welcome any comments on this.
Do you have any, John? Neil?
Yeah, what's the 30 on the right side? That's the 30, the far right. You have that grass up higher.
On the top graph?
Yeah.
That is feet from the right-of-way, 30 feet from the right-of-way.
30 feet from the right of way. And they're gonna come back with some review, tell you what they like or don't like about it. I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
Both the Plan Commission and the Zoning Commission.
And I think at our last meeting, Darrell gave us a summary of what he was thinking about. I'm a little uncomfortable, Darrell, with we're going from 15 feet to 5 feet. I'd kind of like to see that at 10. I don't know if, you come out of a building and I like the monument signs better than the high posts, but sometimes the sight distance isn't the greatest. I think it's a little better. I think moving from 15 to 10 would be better. And then the different heights here, I'm certainly okay with 12 and 30 feet, but I think you like to have a uniform look down the road, and I'm not sure that we've given them too much latitude here. I know Springfield has that, where it's per foot, isn't it, or something?
Right.
It just seems to me, I'm trying to think about it.
I think they can go up 3 inches in height for every foot they go back and from the right-of-way.
But I'm okay with getting the recommendations from the Plan Commission, our zoning department, and also you're going to run it by the zoning board of appeals, aren't you? I think we should if you're not. It does. We'll get all their input and then do a final. Okay. Any more questions? Thank you, Darrell.
Yeah.
Thanks, Darrell.
Let's move to Rob, the road department.
Good evening. I just have one item, one resolution, 1628. This is to participate in a joint cooperation agreement with the Lucas County. This is for the 2016 microsurfacing. Our project would be Silica Road. That would be from Sylvania to Centennial. So they're going to resurface the whole road, or micro resurface.
I'll offer Resolution 16028, participate in Lucas County Co-op.
Second.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
That's all. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Rob. Chief, Fire Department?
Okay, no problem. Good evening. You have before you the February monthly report. First two pages are our total runs and total responses for the month. Go to page 3, you'll see that flu season has started. We're getting a lot of ill people, just general illness. That's mostly under the flu category. A lot of dip breathers in the month of February. The next several pages, I know you're interested in mutual aid. We received total of 5 mutual aid, automatic aid, either to Springfield or from Springfield, and we received mutual aid from Springfield and Toledo Fire Division 5 times, and the medic unit transported 22 times. Page 10 is our community risk reduction. We're conducting fire drills in the schools again, now that the weather's starting to turn a little bit nicer. And Deputy Chief Freilich had 7 plan reviews, 4 final acceptance tests for installed or upgrade of a fire suppression system, and 5 inspections that he accompanied the State Fire Marshal on. Those are nursing homes and hospitals that we have to accompany the State Fire Marshal on. And we started our inspection season again. Crews got out in February and did 34 inspections. Page 11 is our training. Back with Lucas County continuing education programs now. And we had our 3 recruits complete their ride time on the Life Squad. They're official now, and they can sign on with Lucas County. So they're been assigned to either the Life Squad or the engine company up at No. 1's fire station. Page 12, we conducted our annual SCBA, self-contained breathing apparatus, fit testing that we have to do every year with everybody. Over 1,780 hours of training were conducted during the month of February, and that included 265 hours towards acting officer development training, and 91 hours of recruit training, and 330 hours of Lucas County paramedic internship. And that internship is that 160 hours that our recruits had to spend on the Life Squad and be checked off on our different skill levels. The last page is our overtime, 7.5 hours on either run or fire holdovers, 196 on training and staffing. Short staffing, we had 94.5 hours. That completes my report, unless you have anything for me.
Any questions for the chief?
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Yep.
Thanks, Chief.
Police Department.
I'll call it good afternoon. Evening doesn't start till 6 o'clock in my book. You have before you the monthly report for February for the police department. On page 2, you'll see the total calls in the dispatch. The only thing of note, I'm going to have this form just changed a little. That totals 7,064 calls total into dispatch that our dispatchers handled. That's just over the telephone lines and such. On page 3, you'll see year-to-date, we're running just a little under in calls for service. But after 2 months, these numbers, you can't really compare that much year-to-date. You'll see our traffic citations pretty much the same. Accidents are both down slightly. Burglaries up slightly. Domestic violence is down slightly. For some reason, assaults, and we ran a lot of assaults last year. Assaults are almost double. Obviously, that's not really a preventable type crime. OVI's up slightly. Our identity thefts are down a little, which is good because they were real up for really way up for the total last year. Thefts running about the same, and all the other offense reports are up a little bit. Page 4, our prisoner transports. Basically, we've got that contract with the city to transport theirs too, and we've transported 2 of theirs out of a total of 20. We, as you can see, have not incurred any kind of overtime based on transports of theirs thus far. Page 5, detective caseload stats. Again, numbers all the way to the right in bold print are the ones to pay attention to. 61 assigned cases in February, of which 43 were cleared, 18 remained active. 21 cases from prior months were cleared for a total of 64 cases that were cleared in the month of February. Page 6, I'll let you just read it. Nothing of real big note there. We're kind of in between, different things, like our safety town. We're not running a Citizens Police Academy this year. The numbers just didn't justify it. And speed trailer, as weather gets nicer like this, we'll start getting complaints and get that speed trailer out and such. Page 7, our detective assigned to the DEA. Again, I won't go over that. You can read basically what he was doing in that paragraph down there. They continue to have a lot of activity. Page 8, again, this is Sylvania Court, and especially the number at the bottom is what we receive from fines and such. And we just had one small figure up top that we got from drug fine money. Page 9, it's basically the map there showing the crimes, of which a great majority of them are probably thefts. And it's a little more spread out than it has been. It's not, even though we are getting a lot of crime, a lot of retail theft, the detectives are working on it very heavily. The Walmarts, the Gabes, the Targets, and such up on Monroe Street. But we've had thefts other places too, and it's a little more spread out than it has been. Page 10, as is par for the course, traffic accidents, Central Avenue. I don't know what we'd do without Central Avenue. It's almost all there. And for some reason, it's odd, but Sylvania Avenue between Corey Road and Holland Sylvania. So I know 2 of the trustees will probably have to be careful traveling that stretch because you're there all the time. So anyway, that's it for the monthly report. The overtime in February was not much. That will change dramatically next month because we're in March and April, we're going through our continued professional training mandated by the Attorney General's Office of the State of Ohio. We all have to do 11 hours. And I'll explain that next month for March because we're doing it in March and April, 4 different dates here. What you don't have, I've got a report from Sergeant Whalen. He actually filed 75 total charges on 46 different suspects, which is actually a pretty high number, especially for a short month in Sylvania Court. Again, a reminder, that's for officers working afternoons and midnights, saving us a lot of overtime and such. He's filing those charges for them so they don't have to come in. They get subpoenaed enough to show to pretrials and such. And then lastly, I've got a nice email that I received from a resident in the township. And it's very brief, so I'll just read it real quickly. I'm writing to recognize the kindness and efforts of Sergeant Brian Marsh. Recently, my 15-year-old son was involved in an incident that I felt should be reported to the police. I, as well as my son, were very impressed by the kindness and compassion of Officer Marsh. In fact, in the first words from my son upon exiting your station, he said he was the nicest police officer I ever met. I have no doubt that Officer Marsh's kind example will make my son more at ease and confident in approaching the police if he ever needs help in the future. So, that's a nice kudo to Sergeant Marsh. And that's all I have. If you have any questions?
For Chief Foley? John? Anything? Neil?
No.
Okay.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Zeigler, you're up next.
Thank you. My first is a resolution authorize the administrator to enter into a contract with DMC Managed Services for our IT services in the township. We received 4 proposals. We interviewed all 4 companies, and we think that DMC Technology Group is the best fit for the township. Pat, is it Sheehan? Is here if you have any questions, and maybe you want to come up and just give a little bit about your company and what you do and where you're located.
Sure, thanks.
Come on up here.
Okay.
We have to put you at the mic.
Thank you, John. Again, my name is Pat Sheehan. I'm the owner of DMC Technology Group. We're located here in Sylvania Township. We're off of Kings Point, back where the Better Business Bureau is on the cul-de-sac there, just kind of across from Cougar Way. Our company will be 23 years old this June. Of course, we're located in Sylvania Township. I'm also a resident of Sylvania Township. We have about 25 employees, and we provide IT services to local organizations, government, school, businesses, etc. And I think Trustee Genowine said it best. We think there are a few things we can tighten up here at the township, IT-wise, and we look forward to providing those services. So any questions at all for me or anything about our company?
John?
Right.
Thanks for being in the township. All right, John,
I'll offer resolution, go ahead.
go ahead.
I'll offer resolution 16029 to enter the contract with DMC Managed Services.
Second?
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Maloney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
My next 3 resolutions, I'm going to have Councilor John Burrell come up and talk to them. Resolution 1630, 1631, and 1632, and he can give you a briefing of what they are.
I almost said good morning. Good evening. As John said, these are 3 resolutions which create an energy special improvement district, bring one property into it, and then levy an assessment against it. And I don't think anyone is here from the Port Authority. No, this is a program run by the Port Authority. We discussed this, you may remember, in a meeting about 6 months ago. These are the actual resolutions to create the district and to bring the one property into it and to levy an assessment. This is a program where a business, it's a voluntary program, where business borrows money to create certain kinds of energy efficiencies, then the money is paid back through the special assessments made against the property. While it's called an assessment, it's not a tax that the township collects. It's an assessment that can only be levied if the property owner seeks it. So you can't force anyone to be in a district. And then the money goes to pay back the loan or the bonds that were issued to make the energy improvements. So as I say, it's important to note that you cannot levy this against a property just to raise money. It's something that a property owner has to seek. And this property owner sought this through the Port Authority. So this is completely a voluntary program. It can't be done unless the property owner agrees to it. And that's what's happening here.
Who is the property owner?
It's the gas station down here at the corner of Howell, Sylvania, and Sunoco. Yeah, it's not called Sunoco anymore, but...
Can we do them all together, or is it questions? Or?
Yeah, I think we could,
do them all together, sure.
can we combine and approve? I'll move to combine and approve resolution 1630, 1631, and 1632 regarding a petition to create a special energy improvement district, determining to proceed in leveling special assessments.
Second.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
Next item, John.
Yes, next item is Resolution 16034, and it's authorizing the administrator to enter into agreement with PropertyRoom.com. We passed a resolution earlier this year where we use GovDeals.com to get rid of surplus property, but sometimes there's just miscellaneous odds and ends, a lot of things, and Chief Bomey can answer it if you have questions, that are in the property room that have gone through the court and no longer needed, and nobody comes and picks up the stuff. So this company specializes in that, plus they do other things, and what they'll do is they'll actually come and get the property, photograph it, put it online, take the bids, collect the money, and then remit the money to us. So we really don't spend time doing it. It's only if we need to do it with them, we will. We still use govdeals.com for the bigger things, vehicles, machinery, furniture, things like that. But this will be for the smaller odds and ends that really is more of a hassle to get rid of than going through govdeals.com where we have to do all the work. I mean, we take the pictures and put it up, and people can come here and see it and that.
Any questions for John? Chief, do we notify, I'm assuming we've notified the owner and they just failed to...
Yeah, there's a lot of things. We recover stolen property from thefts in stores.
Oh, you're not sure who the owner is?
There's 1,000 different ways that we end up acquiring it. Yeah, we always try to, if there is an owner, an identified owner, to try to return it. And quite frankly, we've been pretty good. We haven't purged our property room in probably at least 7 or 8 years. And obviously, we run out of room. And so that's what we need to start doing is start turning this stuff over so we have more room in our property. And as John said, it's going to be for smaller items. We're going to stay with the vehicles and the large-scale things.
I'll move Resolution 1634, authorize the Township Administrator to enter into an agreement with PropertyRoom.com.
Second?
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
And my last resolution is Resolution 16035, and it's to enter into an agreement for provision of countywide emergency medical services. This is a 3-year agreement, a new 3-year agreement, where the county will pay us to house the EMS vehicle. The agreement calls for a 3% per year raise in the 3 years, and that means the first year will be $758,220.51 that the county will pay the township to house that vehicle in Fire Station Number 1, and then that will go up 3% a year in 17 and 18.
I'll offer Resolution 16035 to enter into agreement for provision of countywide emergency services.
Second.
Call the roll, Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
And I'll need your signatures after the meeting. Thank you. That's all I have.
Our fiscal officer, Dave.
Yeah, just briefly, the month-end analysis is up there, and of course, it's early on, and but our expenditures are below the standard deviation. We're still waiting to get some additional advances in, but really not remarkable at all at this point. So, unless you have some questions, I'll move on. Okay, I have one resolution and transfer appropriation from the unencumbered balance. It's Resolution 16-033, and what it is, we had to do some legal notices, some advertising in the Blade, and it's pretty expensive. We didn't have the money to cover it and budget for it, so there it is, $4,700. Yikes, but that's what we have to do.
I'll offer Resolution 16-033, appropriation from unencumbered balance.
Second.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay.
There's nobody who signed up for open discussion for non-agenda items, so we'll move to executive session. I'll move that we go into executive session at 5:27.
And this is for compensation for personnel, non-bargaining, and possible pending litigations.
Second.
Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Thank you. Chief Carroll, we'll have you go in first. Ms. Brown over there.
Because now they're all competing against
The tape is on, guys.
government bars and
Okay.
Yeah, I don't understand that concept.
We're not ready yet, are we?
Did someone take my agenda here that I had on my agenda?
I don't think so, Dave.
This is okay.
Here.
The start of it, everybody heard.
Thing on the schedule, but I'll leave it to
And it should be, but,
Okay, Sammy's
So
got it.
we'll do
Go.
attachment tomorrow.
yeah.
And you're for them, I mean, you're, okay.
They made,
Are we all set?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, the ones we already decided?
yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're good to go.
I'll declare us back in from executive session at 6:55.
And that's a motion to come out of executive
Yes,
session?
yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, and Mahoney, okay, Mr. Genowine?
Trustee,
Mahoney did. Seconded it.
Oh,
Oh, but
second.
yes.
Yeah, I got it, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and Mr.
Yes.
Crandall? Okay. All right.
I'll offer resolution 16037, a resolution to authorize pay rates for the remaining non-union personnel.
Second. Sorry.
Mr. Genowine, seconded, okay. I'll call the roll, Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Adjourn
Motion to
Second.
adjourn at 6:56.
by Mr. Genowine, seconded by Mr. Mahoney.
Yes.
All in favor, Mr. Genowine?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Oh, yes, Mr. Crandall?
Yes, yes.
All right.
we are adjourned.
Good meeting,
Thank you.
everybody. All right. See you guys.
All right.
Good night.